So in this section of the course, one of the things that we talked about was image acts using Liza Bakewell's argument that just as speech acts like saying I do is an action of marrying someone, images can also cause actions. One example that we discussed was images being logos that tell a lot about who a person is. And one example of this is a sports team. As in the image posted here, a sports team can show us what team someone's on, and if we're not on the same team, then we might not necessarily like that person. Another example that we discussed was the swastika that was carved into Villanova's campus. And this image caused outrage in our Villanova community because we're known as having Catholic traditions and values. So seeing a swastika carved in to a whiteboard obviously caused action in people to be upset and to be angry and to question the values and traditions of Villanova and how they're being upheld. So that picture is next. The reason that I chose to do the images of the hockey logos and the fighting and then the swastika is because I think that I found an example that really defines both of these examples of image acts and kind of puts them together in a unique way. So now I'm going to show you guys a clip from Inglourious Basterds.
Nie zuvor in meinem Leben.
He's gonna hug his mother.
Well, ain't that nice? Ask if you're gonna take off his uniform.
Hast du vor, die Uniform abzulegen?
Wenn er sie nicht nur ausziehen, werde sie verbrennen.
He's gonna burn it.
Yeah, that's what we thought. We don't like that. See, we like our Nazis in uniforms. That way you can spot them, just like that.
Tschüss, wir mögen unsere Nazis lieber in Uniform. Dann können wir sie so identifizieren.
But you take off that uniform, ain't nobody gonna know you's a Nazi. That don't sit well with us.
Aber wenn du die Uniform ablegst, weiß niemand mehr, dass du Nazi warst. Und haben wir nicht so gern.
So I'm gonna give you this something you can't take off. You know, Lieutenant, I'm pretty good at that. Why, you get to Carnegie Hall, don't you? Practice.
So I think that this clip is very interesting in discussing image acts. The whole point of it is the Inglourious Basterds go and they want to kill the Nazis in Germany. And when they go, they always have one person that they want to get information from. So if this person gives them information, they let them go free. But the catch is, instead of letting them go free, they carve a swastika into the person's head. They'll permanently remain there, a scar there. And he says in the clip, what are you going to do with that uniform? And he says, burn it. But he doesn't like the idea of that because if he's not wearing his uniform, people don't know that he's a Nazi. So carving the swastika into the person's head, that image serves as an image act in different ways. It lets the non-supporters of the Nazi know that this is like an evil man, that he's a Nazi, and that'll make them act differently towards him. But to the Germans, it also shows that, to the German Nazis, it shows that he's a Nazi that betrayed his country. He wasn't willing to die for his country. Instead, he provided information to them, which is why he got to go free, but now he has this image carved into his head, and so they're going to treat him as someone that's disloyal. So that image makes people act, and it makes people act in different ways. And it not only relates to the swastika, but also the whole sense of the uniform and our identity. In this case, he can take off his uniform and kind of change the way people act towards him, but with the swastika on his head, it's still another way of defining which party he belongs to. So I just thought that was a really interesting example of image acts that related well to some examples that we discussed in class.